directly from Epicenter. This Quickshop is going to tie into the two previous Quickshops that I presented, which deal with using water-based markers, also known as Crayola markers, and making them behave like watercolors, which are super fancy, but I don't expect you all to have watercolors at home. I have some, but if you don't have some watercolors, we can cheat. And this cheat looks very legitimate as watercolors. If you haven't looked at the other Quickshops, you can look at them from previous weeks, and then you'll get all caught up on what we worked on and the experimentation that we did last time. This time, I have two different art projects for all of you. So we're gonna take the challenge and create something super specific, super natural, and super beautiful that you can turn this beautiful leaf into a project you can give away as a greeting card maybe, or you can frame it for yourself. And then we're also going to create a landscape. Look at this landscape. So this landscape, super abstract, super colorful, and notice that all these details here are totally what watercolors do on their own. Get all your materials. If you're borrowing somebody else's markers, ask kindly. If not, just get your materials and we will get started at having fun, because I seem to have a lot of fun with water-based markers that are transformed into watercolors. So, all right, so let's get started. We have this leaf that we're gonna try to replicate. And the way I did this project is I simply started to draw the leaf quite organically and in a very relaxed manner. I wanted to be a different type of leaf, and then I realized, you know what, we're just gonna go with this. So here's a leaf. Does it look like the other one exactly? No, not really, but it doesn't really matter. The next thing I'm gonna do is, again, we're working with the water soluble marker, and I'm gonna add a little bit of color here on the edges. And I'm gonna add more color here because we're gonna drag this color with the brush dipped in clean water. Bring over the water. This is trying to apply some water. And then of course we're gonna get this beautiful spread of color. I'm gonna leave a little bit of the middle of the project untouched because I'm gonna come back with the yellow color when it dries just a little bit. Notice that I'm just dragging the watercolors everywhere gently. And clearly, if you don't put a lot of water in any of these areas, it will be darker. If you put more water, it will be lighter. And here, I can put in a little bit of yellow. And we're gonna spread just a little dash of yellow in the middle. And while it's drying, I'm gonna go ahead and work on the outline. Although we really already have some really beautiful watercolor effects happening, I'm going to go ahead and maybe just add this details just to bring back the appearance of the leaf. And again, with the water, I'm just gonna gently touch, and notice how it's wet on wet right now. And I'm coming back now over the edge, just touching the edges to wake up the brown color marker. Doesn't have to be super pristine because, well, we wanted to represent a watercolor effect, which is what we're after with this little project out of a material that is really not a watercolor. Oh my gosh, what am I seeing here? Am I tearing paper already? Remember when I told you about that? I think we need to leave it alone. Oh, one more thing. You can do this when it's dry, or you can do it like right now, because it will be, the lines will be so much thinner, and they will also probably spread like watercolor does. We can come up with a little bit of yellow in some of these lighter areas. And here's a very dramatic looking leaf. Look at that. And this is the one I previously created. We have our abstract watercolor landscape. We're gonna try to replicate all of this magic. And the way I started this project was with black marker at the very top of the paper, and I worked horizontally on the paper. I'm not gonna go all the way to the edges this time around, so I started with black at the top, then I went ahead and put purple, and then I went to blue. And then we bring over a brush, the water, and we're going to start to activate this water-based marker. Notice that we are gonna get some transition effects on the very dark tones actually. And we can actually bring some of these purples down, some of these black color down to the middle. I can continue to drag this color and notice it's gonna get lighter. Interesting things are gonna happen in here. I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna put in here some mountains. I'm gonna put a little bit of green. And we're gonna start putting in some water in here as well. Notice what happens. It's gonna get a little brown, a little green, and then the mixture of both. I'm going quite fast because, well, that's kind of my nature, unfortunately. I talk fast and I do these demos kind of on the fast. I'm gonna go back to purple colors and then back to blue and green maybe. Just like this, again, some long stripe of color. And I'm gonna bring in water again. Notice what I just did there. I dragged the color. And I mean, this could also be in a seascape. I'm losing a little bit of the mountains over here with the effect, which is kind of nice. And a lot of things are gonna happen. Another thing that you can play with is to drop some clean water on some of these areas. And they're gonna try to spread apart. They're gonna create this appearance of stars and things like that, as you can see here. But if you have rubbing alcohol, you could create a similar effect. The mountains are a little bit more fuzzy now. I'm not totally bothered by that because abstract landscape. We see some mountains. There's the potential for water down here. And look at the sky. Wow, I'm so happy with this project. I'm so happy. I can't wait to see what all of you create. Notice I'm just dropping little dots of water. At some point, I will bring the actual watercolors and we will play with them so you can see the difference between both of these mediums. Also, another thing that we could have done, we haven't done really, is apply, like I've said maybe before, a little bit of rubbing alcohol or even salt. Dropping salt on these puddles will create kind of like some of these details, but a little bit more magical, I must say. We have this beautiful watercolor effect going on here. Look at that. Wow, we have this kind of like a, I don't know, what is it? It's kind of like wind, something going up into the dark sky, or maybe something coming down. And friends, that is it for this quick shop courtesy of Epicenter. And remember, you can turn your water soluble markers, the Crayola markers, into fantastic watercolors. Please continue to play, make some good projects, share them with us. Remember to like us on all social media and tag us also and all that good stuff. For now, until next time, your friend Cristina. See you next time. And let's start thinking about what can we do with alcohol-based markers next time. How about that? Alcohol-based markers such as Sharpies and other ones. So, see you next time. Thank you.